Welcome to Using Variables Part 2, and I'll just start right back in where we finished in Part 1. If you remember in Part 1, we had created a script task, and in the script task we had written just a little bit of code. Notice first I created an integer called nr, and this is in C#. Then I set nr equal to, and I'm casting to integer, the DTS variables, number rows. I can get it by the index or by the name, and I chose the name there, called .value. So I'm going to get the value of that particular variable loaded into nr. Then I've just got a message box here that's going to pop up and tell me how many rows were processed. Okay, so again, I'll save that, close that. Notice I'm in the public void main subroutine here. And so I'll close that. We go right back out to here. And now we should be through, right? Now I'm skipping a step here just to help you understand it and to make sure that you don't get burned by this. And so now it looks as though we should be ready to go. And so I'll execute this, and it will look like it's going to run okay. And then we're going to see something kind of odd. Okay, so our data flow task is working, and remember, we're just doing a select from, I think it's that dim customer table, writing it out to a flat file, and then we're loading how many rows actually went into our variable, right? And so now this happens, and we get this bizarre error message: exception has been thrown by the target of an invocation. Now, what this means, and you can read all this and work through it and so forth, but really what it means is it really isn't connecting the script code and passing the variable information around the way it needs to. And I'm going to show you how to fix that now. Double click on script task, and notice right here, read only variables. To be able to pass these things back and forth, I need to come out here and choose the read only variables that I have. Now I'm looking at the parameters and the variables that I have out here, and notice here is my variable right here. So I'll check right here, and this is just letting the environment know that I'm trying to pass information back and forth using this variable right here. So now I'll say OK. I will end that script processing, and then we will execute it again once I get reset here. So now we'll execute it one more time. We'll see it operate, and this time, with a little bit of luck here, if I didn't fat finger anything, we should get on our script task here, with a successful completion of the data flow task, a message box. Notice 484 rows were processed. Okay, so we used a script task to jump out and run some some Visual C# code. Now the magic of this is when we loaded that variable that we created and put in our data flow task. Let me go jump back out here and show it to you one more time. And let me close our variables down here to give us some room. And right here on this row count, we did a select from our OLEDB data source. We passed it through the row count, and if I double click that, you can see it loaded it into our number rows variable. Then it moved the rows on out to the flat file destination. In control flow, we wrote a script that went out and grabbed that and read it. Okay, so there's the script that we wrote, and then if I click that, it'll open the Visual Studio C# environment, and let me actually see the script. Okay, now I hope that made sense to you. If you've got all those steps, now you see a lot about how you can use these variables, especially in script tasks. And so many times we need to use script tasks in our packages to do all sorts of things. And this one's kind of a useless little example, but it does show you how to tie these variables out here and how to read them out here in this scripting environment. Okay, so anyway, simple little example of variables. I hope this helps.